Now let's take a look at absolute values equations. First of all, hopefully you still remember what does absolute values mean. So for example, what is the absolute values of -3? Is the distance from -3 to 0 on the number line. So in that case, it's 3, right? Therefore, if I ask you what is the absolute values of 3, +3, is the distance from 3 to 0 on the number line, which is also 3. So if you have an equation, for example, if you have an equation, you have to solve it. So solve for x, and the absolute values of x is 3. So you know that in order to get the distance of 3, we have two numbers on the number line, which is -3 and +3. So we have we have two numbers that make the distance 3. So let's take a look at number 18 in our worksheets. For number 18, we have to solve for u. So I have -8 u plus 2 equals -80. Okay, the first thing you need to do for absolute values equation is you need to isolate the absolute values. So how do I isolate? I have that -8. So the first thing you need to do is divide by -8. Now, we ended up with absolute values of u plus 2 equals 10. Next step, you drop the absolute values. You ended up with two equations. So we have u plus 2 could be 10, or u plus 2 could be -10. And then you solve for it. So u is 8 and u is -12. So we have two numbers, two solutions. Okay, so make sure you isolate the absolute values. So for example, let's take a look at number 19. We have to solve for w. So we have 3 absolute values of w minus 7 plus 7 equals to 37. So first I need to clear everything. So 3w minus 7 absolute values is 30. I still have that 3, so we have to clear it. So we ended up with w minus 7 equals 10. So now you can drop the absolute values and you ended up with w minus 7 equals 10, or w minus 7 equals -10. So we ended up with two solutions, which is 17 and -3. So for number 20, when you have absolute values on both sides, so what I have is 3w plus 4 equals 3w plus 5. For this one, you can drop the absolute values and make one of them negative. So I can make this one negative. Okay, and then we're going to solve it. So I'm going to add 3w, So we have 6w plus 4 equals negative 5. So we have 6w equals, so we subtract 4, we ended up with negative 9. So w is negative 9 over 6. Make sure you reduce it, you get negative 3 over 2.